and they don't give up, and they work for that result. There's a scripture I want to read. I did not give it to the media team, but I'm sure they are quick enough, they can find it out. Romans chapter 5, verse 3. And then from there are some thoughts I want to bring out. You see, I by chance listened to someone. He's been and he's a singer and a pastor now. I think he's South African or from West Africa, I don't remember. But he's Pastor Badu, something like that. Yeah, something like that. I don't know where. And the little piece I listened to, he was saying that we have a generation of people who don't want to suffer. And there's nothing you can achieve without suffering. But he was saying that we have a generation, and specifically was speaking to people in church, that we have a generation of people who are not willing to suffer. And I didn't have time. I didn't listen to everything, so I went ahead and did my stuff. And then I started thinking. I read somewhere years ago where someone said that it's effort and not talent. It is effort and not talent. I mean that brings success. But I also know, I don't know if you people, you know how old I am, but I've lived some years. And I'm an observant person. And I register myself as a good student. I learn. I went to the UK one day, the first time, I think it was 1994, 93, 94. And then I was walking. You see, for me going to the UK, I said, the first thing was to get on those double-decker buses, because I had just seen them and I always wanted to sit on the top above the driver. I wanted to be there like this. But then one day I was walking and I heard a singer singing. I honestly thought Bob Marley had come back to life. Although the guy had a good voice. But I was surprised it was not Bob Marley. You see a man with a guitar, people putting in some pounds. Some coins. And I was saying, with all this talent, the man is like a beggar. He's seated here, singing people to pass by and put in some coins. But a voice as good as that of Bob Marley, the late. And you see, it's not talent. It's effort. And maybe I will add on decisions. And you see, I'm not going to die tomorrow. So even if time doesn't allow and we don't go to the book of Revelation, but let me follow what is in my heart. It's not, talent is not enough. It's effort. And it's decisions. Let me give an example. And really decisions are influenced by people around you and your friends. And the people you choose to be around with. And of course, there are those you don't choose. You don't choose your father. Yeah, you don't choose. But I think you choose your wife and you choose your husband. Not so? And you see, if Noah had maybe there were other people, but making me the choice, had attendant and associated advantages that came with that. Because eventually I made a decision. I had already made a decision to serve God. And so that alone puts her in a line of serving God and the blessings that come with that. That alone. And then I made a decision to come. And you see, by that decision, a choice she made a decision, and a decision had results more also here. And she can tell you, if she had stayed in Uganda, you don't know. But really, she tells me when we talk that she would not have been alive. Yeah. You see, the power in the decisions we make. I want you to see that. And you see, someone was singing a song about the future. I think it's Pastor Bugembe. Future. And he grew up, I don't know if it's that one or another guy. Future, everyone was talking about future. Where are you, future? But you see, the future begins today. The future begins today. I want you to say to your neighbor, you are either the decisions of your parents or your own decisions. I mean, you're a result of that. Listen. Now, if Jackson's dad did not make a decision to bring Jackson here, you think Jackson will be like that? No, you don't know. No, even what you see, even people don't know. Even now, people don't know. You see, they are asking, what is that? They even don't see anything. But it would have been worse even. It could have been worse. You see, what I want you to pay attention to here, it's not that I'm putting anyone down, but the power of decisions you make. The decisions you make, I mean, they're going to affect your life. Decisions are consequential. They have consequences. They have consequences. The decisions you make. You see, the decisions you make. They may seem not important. They may seem they are simple decisions, but they have consequences about your future. Now, I don't know, but I used to play football. And in my journey, I met good footballers, young boys. And then you just look forward that, this one when he grows up. And then you find a man, a drunkard, and he says, hey, are you James? We are in school together. And you said, what happened to your football? You see, my daddy died, and then this happened. A lot of excuses and explanations. You see, pure talent, but a failure. that thing. Why? You see, choices, decisions, and effort. And effort. Now, sometimes, I don't know if you watch football. I'm a student of words. I mean, I pay attention to what people say and the logic in what they say and why they are saying it and why it means, what it means. I just don't simply listen and move on. That's why I call myself a student of words. I sometimes, I've been following football. And you can see all coaches, hear players or coaches make some comments, for example. And I don't know if you've ever paid attention to find out what that means. They can say that we've suffered. But a team to win, you have to know how to suffer. I don't know. Always when they make that statement, it's not that they just sailed. Every time they were just scoring goals, they almost lost. We even take pride in our problems. We even take pride in our problems because those problems, the sufferings, produce something wonderful. In other words, they look at the result and they don't give up and they work for that result. You see? And you see, even the scriptures tell us Jesus endured the suffering on the cross because he looked at the end. You see, I was thinking, there are life's lessons. These things don't only work in spiritual issues, but even in earthly things. You see, one of the former ambassadors, he is late now. The late, may God rest. I don't know. I don't want to say that. Rest. For me, I gave up on that stuff. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. I don't know where they are until I find out. No, this is it's my view. This is my view. Because everyone is resting in peace. Saddam Hussein is resting in peace. Gaddafi is resting in peace. Every people write, rest in peace. I gave up on that. I don't know. I let that to God. I will not involve myself there. But this man was a very honorable man. Former ambassador of Uganda to Denmark. Yeah. And they used to invite us on many occasions, and we always, they put us on the same table. So I think I'm not a small man. But they always put us on the same table. So we always had discussions. He made a comment one day. I did not respond to the comment, but it stuck in my heart, in my mind. And I thought, I gave it a lot of thoughts. He said that you people in the Western world, I mean, we Africans in the Western world, he said that the money you get is hard-earned money. But what surprises him, that we don't give it due respect. That's the statement he used. We don't give it due respect. That is the respect it deserves. And I started thinking, and really, yeah. And one day, the last time I traveled with the kids, with all of them, there was a time when we went with Sunrise and Queen, not that. But the last time we went with, Gloria, Faith, Moa, Queen. Was Queen alive? Was Queen born? No, there was a time when No, you were not there when we went. She had not escaped the womb. And you see, I had some millions in my country, on my account. And I had here some money. And good money. And so we went. And I think it was 2 weeks. It was in December. We ate Christmas there because of their studies. We had, I think it was 3 weeks maybe. And then when I came back, my account there down was empty. And I didn't have any money, which I had here when we were going. And if you could ask me what I did with the money, I didn't know. I could not answer. I could drive, all these millions. And you see, the first thing I decided in my heart, I will never go with the whole family. Now, because that money, already the one I had on the account in Uganda, I could buy a piece of land on it, a piece of land. Yeah, honestly. And so for me, when the ambassador made that statement, and you see, that was not free money which someone gave me. I worked hard for it. But because I didn't give it the due respect. You see, it's like it's free money you picked somewhere. You just spend anyhowly. I know, you just spend with smiles, you give out, and you go back and sleep. and you know, and you are happy. You think you've done great things. I think that's the big problem, Mark. You see. I read, someone wrote something, I kept it somewhere, that behind every rich man or successful man, I'm not going to say that there is a strong lady, whatever, but this one wrote something differently, that behind every rich man, there is a list of girls who say the man is stingy. Behind, there's a list in his life who say, that one, it's good I left him. He's stingy, but he's rich now. You see, that's the point. And there's a story I have. One day, we used to send money Western Union. And it so happened every time I was going to a Western Union, I always sent a girl. I found a girl there I know. I will not mention the name, it's a Ugandan girl. And every time I met her there, she requested some money to buy matoke. And every time, I don't encourage people lying. But at one time I lied. I said I don't have my card with me. And you see, and it was also her reason not having money. She wanted to buy matoke, but she didn't come with her card. And I also said, I don't have my card. Now, when it happened a few times, and then one day she was bold enough to say, maybe stupid enough, to say to me, but you always forget your card, eh? I wanted to say to her, I'm not stupid. I choose to forget. I choose to forget my card. You forget, you don't come with yours. And you so I'm sure she says pastors are stingy. And she used to come to church. Yeah. But you see, one day I preached a message and I said, when our church was in Christiantown, I preached a message and I said that in your life, if you can, and Denmark here it's very easy, because in Uganda you can ask someone how much he or she gets a year, and it's hard to figure out. They got from here, there, from the job, from what they say. I mean, everywhere they are getting something. But here it's easy. If they tell you the amount of money you got the whole year, and a guy in Uganda gets that information, he will say you're a rich person. You must be a rich person. When they put up that amount you get a year. And even when you go there and you tell them, they will respect you, they say you are rich. But you see, the heart doesn't deceive. And you cannot deceive. You in your heart, you know you are very poor. No, in your heart, you know. What separates you from, in case, if you stop working today, you are a beggar the next day. Are you rich? No, you can't be rich. You can't be rich. Oh, no, these things, it's part of begging club, those things. Be stand, those things. Especially if you are not going to school. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. What are you doing? You see. One day I was saying, I preached a message that in your line, you can see, here it's a little bit different, but I'm using African terms. You say piece of land, whatever, a small house or whatever. In your life, you can look back and you see there is a small house in a girl called Sarah. I mean, you spent a lot of money on her, a small house there. And then there is a car, a piece of land in Jennifer. Jennifer ate that amount. You spent a lot of money. And these days, a plot of land in Johnny, because these days even the girls, they spend on us. They spend money. And you find you would have had a piece of land, but you spent the money on John. No, I want you to wake up the power in decisions you make. Those decisions, they have consequences, an impact on your future. And for me, I say to myself, you say I have a brother who calls me when I'm in Uganda. Hey, James, are you in town? During lunchtime. Are you in town? And I say, no, I'm home. Hey, why are you not in town? And I always ask, to do what in town? The lessons I learned. There was a time when I went from Uganda, here to Uganda, to maybe 3 weeks, but people thought I was working in Kampala every day. And even I had I don't know, there used to be on Uganda House a restaurant, it was Baker's World, but they had some chairs, you sit, you drink soda, juice, and you eat cakes. And so, and that was my office. Every day, going to Baker's World, sit there, drink, one calls you, I'm here, they find me there, and in the evening, I go home. Now, I found out how much I was spending And where I get that money from, and that pained me. And I made a decision. I go to the city when I have something to do. Not just to spend like a stupid man. Not just to spend because someone gave me money. It's money we work for. You see? And I want you also to know this. Your lack of planning should not constitute an emergency on my side. Because you did not plan well your finances. Don't put us on Twitter and say, help me. They are chasing me from this one. Help me. No, your lack of planning, that's the statement. And by the way, I also read that somewhere, that statement, that your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency. And you say, I die if you people, you help me. No, I help you. Are you lame? Now, church, it's decisions. And not only we've taken pride in our problems. Now, learn to suffer. The young people, I want you to see this. Until you come out of your comfort zone, you are not developing. Even in the spiritual things, you have to come out of your comfort zone. Faith never grows in your comfort zones. A mark of wisdom is the willingness to suffer now for a better future. This suffering now is shorter and the future is longer. If you are to suffer now, you are going to suffer 1 year, 2 years. If it's in education, 2 years, 1 year, 3 years. But the future is another 40 years, another 50 years. Why sell it for comfort just 1 year or 2 years or 3 years? You see, we must be willing to suffer now. Do with little now. For me, the guy I listened to many times, and they used to say in Miracle Center that he was my pastor. I was in the United States. I never met him. John Austin. He's a father to Joel Austin. But he used to say that sleep on a mat until you can afford a mattress. I mean, I think we need some common sense, some intelligence in money issues. He said, sleep on the mat until you can afford a mattress. You see? And I read something else someone wrote. I don't know who. I read a lot of things. Sometimes I don't keep track of the names. But the point is not the name. It's the thought the guy was bringing out. And he said that he's a Ugandan. He was talking about Ugandans. So I don't know about the Angolans, Brazilians. I don't know. The Rwandese, they are partly Ugandans. And he said that Ugandans, we spend a lot of money to look rich, but little money to become rich. We spend a lot to look rich. But you see, so that when they see you, you are rich. But actually, you spend little to do things that will really make you rich. You see? And a country like Denmark can deceive. Can really deceive. And what people think, I think it's a problem more with the teenagers. But when we come in Europe, even those in 30s, they think like teenagers. No, in Europe here. Eh? No. In Africa, you can't go in a disco in Uganda and find someone 50 there or 40 years there. But here you will. Here you will. Faith can find me there. That's why I say that even here in Europe, even the grown-ups, we think the same like teenagers. And you know the teenagers, what they think? They think they have a lot of time. They have a lot of time. They have a lot of time. That's what they think. And what deceives people? People deceive themselves. I mean, if you ask, all successful people come, not by faith. You see everyone going in that house of successful people. Everyone saying everyone is successful. But just the job separating him from or her from becoming a beggar. I mean, the point is, you can deceive yourself that you've succeeded, you are successful. And so when they talk about how succeeding for you, you don't even bother. You think you are. No. You think you are. And time runs. And the opportunities are like a river. Water that passes. It does not come back. Yeah. Another one will take it. But you see, you have to be willing to suffer, to rejoice, take pride in those issues. The suffering I'm meaning. Do without certain things for your future's sake. The effort, it's more effort than talent. You see? It's more effort than talent. Even the most talented, if there is no effort, you don't go anywhere. You see? The point is willing to suffer. The future it starts today. You see? And for me, honestly, I look back, there are wrong decisions I made. And we had no one to tell us. You see? Obviously, what encourages me, there are those I made sincerely because I wanted to serve God. So that one, I say God will take care of that. You see? But a lot of the decisions people make, it's not for serving God. The decisions you make today are going to affect your future. And your future is not 20 years from now. Your future begins today. The decisions you make. You see, even in the spiritual things, there are those days where we used to fast. Not because we had problems. No. You see, suffering for the future. Suffering for the future. And sometimes even suffering for others. And the point there is this. Sometimes even when we are pressed and we want to give up, we stand so that you stand. Because if we give up, you fall. Sometimes you choose to stand for the others to stand. Because now imagine, if I wake up, I give up serving God, it's very tough. A lot of you, your faith will be broken. And therefore, sometimes you decide to stand for others. Stand for your future. Stand for others. Stand for your family. Do something so that your family will be proud. So that they will be honored. You see, the decisions we make, they affect our future. And many others. You see, it's not simply talent, the effort. Let me say this. For me, I've seen a lot of people with talents, especially singers. I gave something to Enoch, but I read it last Sunday. Let me read it again. Yeah, because all the enemies can be easily defeated, but there's one enemy that is that is not easy to defeat. Enoch, do you have it? Can you project it? I don't know. Okay. There's an enemy, a weapon that is not easy to defeat. And this is one. This man wrote, I don't know, I think my look on the name, it sounds Kenyan. And probably from the Chukuyu area or whatever. Mwangi, Muturi Mwangi, something like that. It says, no one needs to form weapons against you. You don't wake up on time. You don't write goals. You don't follow through. You have poor communication skills, poor money management skills. Who needs to form weapons against you when you are your own worst enemy? Now, that is an enemy that is not easy to win if you are your own worst enemy. If you choose to fight your future, to fight yourself, you are your worst enemy. And no one will have even to fight you. You are just fighting yourself. You see those in medical science, there is, when they say that the body is fighting itself, there's something, I don't know what they call it. Yeah, there's an autoimmune diseases. When a body starts fighting itself, the body doesn't recognize, in other words, the body thinks, is deceived that it's an enemy to itself. So rather than fighting bacteria and viruses, when it starts fighting itself, I don't think there's a medicine for that. I don't think there's a medicine for that. You see, so there must be an effort you put. There must be, you must make choose the decisions you make. The decisions you make. For me, as me, James, Lubega, in Twatwa, I cannot laugh and be happy if I have spent, let me say, even 1 million Uganda shillings on nothing. Because I know how I get the money. I know how I get it. There are boys, I take care of people and school fees, tuition-wise in Uganda. And recently there's one that misbehaved at one school and they suspended. They even wanted to expel him. And he's a candidate. He's sitting in August. They suspended him for 2 weeks. You know what I said? I said, hello, that man I pay tuition, I work for it. Sit home until August, you can do exams. You fail, you fail. If the results bail you out, you continue. And they, no, just 2 weeks, let him come back this term. And I said, if he's going to study for free, I'm not going to pay school fees. If he misbehaved. And you suspended him. 2 weeks. No. The next term I'm not paying. He's registered to do exams. Let him sit home. Come, do exams. I respect my money. I work hard for it. And I told them, I'm a pastor, but I'm not dipping my hand in the church money. And for me, it's not free money. I work for it. Yeah. And I know, I don't know you. I just found you. And they say, let me help you. I respect that money. You see. And for me, it's not just spending. I once, you see, I said I learn quickly. The late ambassador made that statement and it stuck to me. And they said, And church, the point here, the decisions you make, they have consequences. They have results. Sometimes the results are tears. Sometimes it's joy. And what you people, David prayed a prayer that, find that scripture. Help me, number my days. Help me, number my days. But you see, you get the I want you to see the context. The context. You find that the context he was dealing with is the frailty of life. I mean, life can go away anytime. Life is short. You see, the shortness of life. And therefore, he said, help me number my days. Not to number just 10, 11, 13, blah, blah, blah. You see, number 1, 2, 1, if you change that, it's first. 2 is the second. You see, giving priorities. Giving. So teach us to number our days. Because if you know to number your days, it's not just 1, 2, 3, 5, 20, whatever. Giving priorities. What is number 1? What is number 2? What is number 3? Prioritizing. Then you get wisdom. That we may gain a heart of wisdom. Wisdom is in the practice of knowing and numbering your days. How you set your priorities. What is number 1? This is number 2. This is number 3. Like that. Not like, no, you can't just live like this. You just can't live like this. Like you're going nowhere. You see, some people, you are looking this way, but you are going. And because you are faced that way, those looking at you from that side, they think you are moving forward. Moa told me about his dad. One day, you see, in Uganda, there used to be something called graduated tax. Everyone in 18 and above, you had to pay graduated tax. And only students. And people and those tax collectors were in streets. And when they ask for graduated tax and you don't have, then they tie you. they take you to prison. And so people walked looking. If you see them, you run. You run. And then this Mua's dad saw them. And I don't know if someone told him those, hey, they are waiting for people. And then it was what we call streetwise, street smart. Then he stopped, and then he started walking. Because if you turn quickly, they might realize you are running, and some of the guys might chase you. So he just started walking backwards till he reached somewhere, and then he turned. But you see, some people, you think you are walking, but some people, they are. Have you been in these scouts, whatever? In Africa, we used to, and then we do like this. But there is movement. But the problem, movement is in one place. It's movement. You see, there is that in Denmark here. Everyone is like this. Everyone is like this every morning, every evening, but not moving. We are in one place. You see. And then you find those who start getting a lot, but they are going backwards. But you see, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. Now, give me the next verse or the verse prior to this. One of it talks about you see, teacher, priorities. You see, priorities. Make the right priorities. That is what he says. Teach us to number our days. You see, teach us to number our days. It's not just accumulation of days or accumulation of years. No, the decision, life can be better for you. You see, the future can be better. No, it's not that. Here he says, you've got it right. The context is the days of our lives are 70 years. And if by reason of strength, they are 80 years. So strength can increase your years. So don't take the other people who say, God decided when you die, strength can do that. And the word strength, that one, strength, mental strength, emotional strength, I mean, you can use many things there, wisdom there. And then he ends by saying, for it is soon cut off, and we fly away. Therefore, he says in 11 and 12, in 12, get me, what is 11? Because I want you to see the context where he brings, who knows the power of your anger? For as the fear of you, so is your wrath. Verse 12. So teach us to number our days. You see, that's the context, that life is short, that you don't have many years to live. Therefore, prioritize, number your days. So your heart may acquire wisdom. You see, what you sow is what you reap. The effort you put in is the effort that comes out. When I was in school, someone came and I asked him, hey, what did you get? And he said, they gave me 30. And I said, no, they didn't give you. That is what you got. They did not. No, but put in effort. When you still have time. When you still have time. It's possible to be in Europe and be homeless. It is possible to be in Europe and be a beggar. You find the yam for, what is it? Who's for B? Who's for B? And you find people who are, some of them, they are Danes. most of them. It's not the point I want to bring here. I don't give so much attention to you have the red passport, that you have European Union passport. Even you're a black guy, a black woman having that one, you see the other one is born like that, but homeless. The point is, a passport won't change you. You have to make the right decisions. You have to get wisdom. You have to put there an effort. It's not just talent. It's not just talent. It's not just talent. You have to put there an effort. You have to make some decisions. And it's the decisions you make today. Someone wrote, and I read something, is that make sure you at least move an inch every day to your dream. An inch every day. Do something, small as it is, that helps you move to a better future. You see, a better future. Very soon, Brian will be soon 40. You get scared. Because I saw Brian when he was young boy, fighting with his judge. And always the fight was on our door. They were coming for prayers, and Brian, I think, was balancing. And Jaja didn't want Brian to come in the pastor's house when it's like that. So there was always a struggle from the elevator to come into our house. You would think the dog's fighting out there. And you open and it's Brian and Jaja. But you see, time runs very fast. And the things we say come to pass when it's late for you. When it's late. Make some effort now. Make effort. Pay the price now for a better future. For a better future. You can't be like us if you don't learn. For me, there are people I saw when I came here. And when you look at them now, and you are going there too. No, if you don't number your days, if you don't make the right choices, if you don't make the right decisions, it's not that fate made it be this way. No, your decisions. The decisions. And not the decisions you make tomorrow, the decisions you make today. You see, there was a conference one time in my country, not in our church, but one of the sisters we knew came from that conference and told us about that topic. The topic is that your future depends on your obedience today. Yeah. But the problem, for me, that stayed in my heart and in my mind. And I tell you, that was 1986. But that has never left me. I'm a young man. Vivi say, hey, 86. The man who was alive at that time. You see, but those things, for me, and during, we didn't have phones to write all those statements. But for me, just make a statement that makes sense. It will stick in my heart. Even after many years, I will still be able to quote that statement. You see? He said that your future depends on your obedience today. Today. Not tomorrow, today. Your future depends on the decisions you make today. You are a sum of the decisions of, first, your parents, But there's a time where you reach and you have to make your decisions. And then you become the summation, the sum total of your decisions. You reach 50 years, and you're still like that. Those are the decisions you made. You see, those are the decisions you made. It's the sum total of the decisions you make. In the spiritual things, both in the spiritual and in the physical things. In the spiritual, obey God. Give yourself time to pray. I don't have to stand and say, declare now a month of fasting. No. Make your own choice and say, let me ask for a day off. I want to stay home to fast and pray. Let me sacrifice that money. 2 days off. But you can make days off for any other thing, but not for praying, and never for fasting. You have visitors, and sometimes you can even say, I'm sick. Or you a day off to rest. No. You talk with your boss, I need a day off. When do you think you can? Which day can you give me? A day or 2 days? You see. And even these days when you have holiday money, these things, you can even get those 2 days holiday money for those 2 days. But the issue will be, you want to stay home, you want to fast, you want to pray. Let me finish by this. So I'm not dying, so Revelation will continue next Sunday, because it's still me preaching. We will deal with that. But let me finish with this. I have a guy who is a friend, and he works for me in my country. But you see, strange things were happening. Not strange, but to me, strange. But for him, he thought it was just, always he had a bike. Vroom, vroom. Yeah. But not a boda guy. It was something he uses for transport. And the guy was getting accidents every other month. And if he doesn't fall, then he knocks a person. And there was a time he knocked a policeman. And the policeman told him that, now you've knocked me, I'm not going to work for a year. Now you have to bring money every week, the money that will feed my family. And the guy had to go to the policeman every week and give him money to feed family. And a lot of things were happening until I said to him, I said, you guy, deal with the spiritual issues. And I said to him, don't you see me here, I come and I joke, but I always get myself some days to fast, some time to pray. We are faced with a lot of battles we don't know. There are a lot of things that are fighting us, and you don't know. Give yourself time to do some praying. Get a day and do some fasting. You don't wait to have a problem to fast. No, you just stay close, switch off your phone. Because I tell you, I know, the day you choose to fast, they will call you. All your friends, those that have never called you, will call you that day. They will send you those stupid messages. They will send you, if you had an ex you broke up years ago, they will try to remind you. Everything will come. A wise person, you choose to pray, you get a day to fast. Now that you've even requested, your boss has allowed you, switch off your phone. Stay home, and just one day. Yes, let me finish with this totally now. That pastor made another statement, John Austin, in 86, 85, that one night of not sleeping, standing on your feet, worshiping. And this year we've said praising, worshiping, praying. Just one sleepless night of doing that can save you thousands of sleepless nights in the future. When you are turning, your wife has problems, your wife saw another man, no money, all the problems around, no job, and you don't sleep because of the problems. But he said, one night, which you yourself can choose, when it's convenient for you, and you just stay up and praise the Lord, can save you thousands of sleepless nights in the future. Amen. Effort, decisions, obedience now will affect your future. God bless you. God bless you. Amen.